What is up, YouTube? You're watching The Truth Show with me, your host, The Truth, and today I'm going to be going through a Striker's Battle Gear variation I'm calling the Vampire. Now, before I get into the build, I want to talk about the linchpin of this build, which is the Ninja Bike backpack. This, while it's not necessary for this build to work, it is preferred. Now, this has been one of the hardest pieces of gear for me to get in the game. I am going to show you that I did get it from doing Summit. That's where I got mine from. I went to the Summit, I set my gear, targeted gear to me targeted loot to backpacks, and then went in and did Summit, and eventually in Summit it did drop for me. I will put a video at the end that'll show you it dropping, but my guy, man, this is like the hardest piece of gear I've ever had to get. It took me literally a week and a half, so about 12 days to get this gear set, to get this gear piece, to get the Ninja Bike. It is ruthless. You can get it from Season 11, but you would have had to have got it in Season 11. If you didn't get it in Season 11, it means you won't have the blueprint for it, so you can't make it. So the only option available to you is either targeted loot areas on the world map that are targeted to backpacks, doing multiple runs, and God knows how many it would take of countdown with backpackers targeted loot, or Summit with backpackers targeted loot. I can officially confirm you can get the Ninja Bike from Summit with targeted loot as backpack, because that's where I got mine. So this is the linchpin of my build, and I'm going to show you why. So we're going to look at the backpack. Its core attributes are weapon damage and armor. You will always get 2 core attributes with it, and they will always be weapon damage and armor, so you don't have to decide with this backpack whether you want one or the other. I've put another little piece of gear onto it, so I've slotted a gear slot into it, giving me critical hit chance. And the reason I'm using it is for its talent, resourceful. Slots in with any equipped gear set and or brand set item to fulfill a requirement towards unlocking a gear set bonus. Can unlock bonuses from multiple sets simultaneously. So what that means is, if I'm running one gear piece, so let's say I put this on, Heartbreaker. Now, while it's only one gear piece, because of the Ninja Bike, I would get the 2-piece talent on it. So I get my assault rifle damage and my LMG damage. That's what the Ninja Bike does. It gives you a gear set talent tier. It acts as another piece of that gear. But you'll see as we're going through the build. So that's the first piece of gear. Obviously, I'm using my Striker. So I've got a Striker's Mask, which is rolled into weapon damage. It's rolled into critical hit chance and critical hit damage on its secondary attributes. As you can see, its 4-piece is activated, even though I've only got 3 pieces on, which is, again, because of the Ninja Bike. I'm using a chest piece for my Striker chest piece. I've got weapon damage and critical hit chance. What I am going to do is, because that shouldn't be on there, is I'm going to put, that's got critical hit chance, I'm going to put a critical hit damage on there, because that's just stupid. Let's have a look. We'll go with 11, because all the rest I like put on something else. Oh, no, yeah, there we go. I'll get back to that in a bit. Okay. So there we go. So that's the chest piece. I'm also using the holster. The holster is, again, rolled into weapon damage with critical hit damage as its secondary attribute. Now, I would say you can roll it however you want to roll it. Do you know what I mean? So if you want to roll into armor, by all means, roll into armor. You do not have to have your core attributes and your attributes set like I've got them. Go with the flow. Go with what you want to do. Don't feel bogged into it. Now, this is where the vampire part of this build comes in. So as you can see, my signature skill is the gunner. One of the gunner's talents is you get 10% armor on kill. That's awesome, but for me, it wasn't enough. So I went and I built myself a piece of this gear, System Corruption. System Corruption with 2-piece gives you 15% armor on kill. Now, because I've got the ninja bike, it means I only have to put 1 piece of System Corruption on and I'll get the 2-piece talent. So I'm getting 15% armor on kill. So with my 10% armor on kill, this puts me up to 25%. Again, this is rolled into armor with its core attribute. Its secondary attribute is critical hit chance. Again, I like critical hit chance. If you've got a lot of critical hit chance and critical hit damage, you're going to do a lot of damage. But I'm also pairing that with this brand set, Palisade Steelworks. With Palisade Steelworks, its first talent is armor on kill, 10%. So if I put my 10% armor on kill with my 15% from the System Corruption and my 10% from my specialization, that is a total of 35% armor on kill. So that's more. Over a quarter of my armor comes back after I kill an enemy. That's freaking awesome. And I'm not even maxed out on this gear yet. I haven't fully rolled it in. The weapons I'm using the Dare LMG. I really like this LMG. I don't know if anybody else uses it, but it's awesome. It's a named LMG. It's got perfect flatline, amplifies weapon damage 20% to pulsed enemies, and after 3 kills, it applies a pulse to the next enemy you hit. It's freaking awesome, dude. I really like this LMG. Obviously, I'm using my St. Elmo's engine as my primary weapon. I'm really big on the assault rifles, but it's also got Actimest. Shooting an enemy with this weapon will give you 1 stack. At 100 stacks, the next magazine will be 100% filled with shock ammo. Awesome, which means you can shock and stun lock enemies. That's great. The skills I'm using are my ballistic shield, the Crusader ballistic shield, and my pulse. The reason I've got pulse on is because I'm using a global modifier called Fog of War, so it doesn't give you like directional alerts on the minimap for where the enemies are. So I use pulse so that I know where the enemies are. But that's this variation of the build, guys, right? I think this is the stronger one because you get more armor on kill, but you are sacrificing the 4th piece of your striker, your backpack. Now I'm going to explain to you why. We're going to go into this menu and I'm going to put this on. This is the second variation of this build. Now, as you can see, I'm using 4-piece striker and 2-piece System Corruption. Now, I have to use the 2-piece System Corruption because I'm not using the ninja bike on this one. So this is for people who don't have the ninja bike and can make this piece of gear. So with 2-piece, I'm getting 15% armor on kill. But if you're using the ninja bike, like I said, you sacrifice this secondary talent, Risk Management. Increases total weapon damage gained per stack of Striker's Gamble from 0.6.5 to 0.9.0. So instead of getting 0.65% for each bullet landed, you'll get 0.9% for each bullet landed. But if you're using the ninja bike, you're going to lose that 0.9%. Personally, I don't think that's a lot to lose. I think using the chest piece and knocking your Striker's Gamble from 100 stacks to 200 stacks sort of mitigates it. But again, if you haven't got the Ninja Bike Messenger backpack, then you can use this variation because it will work. You won't get as much armor back on kill, but you'll get a significant. It's 25% of your armor back on kill, so you're getting a quarter of your armor back. So there are 2 variations of this build, guys. I'm going to show you. There's going to be 2 videos of me using both. So the first video is going to be me in Summit, and it's going to be me getting the Ninja Bike Messenger. But what I'm using while I'm in. Summit is the first variation with 2-piece system shock, 2-piece system corruption, and 4-piece striker without the ninja bike. And then the second video was going to be me using this with the ninja bike. So if the build's helpful to you guys, let me know. Leave a like on the video, do you know what I mean? If you've got any questions, don't be afraid to ask, do you know what I mean? Just send a message and I will get back to as many people as I possibly can. So thanks for watching, guys. Please watch the videos to see that these builds do in fact work, and I will catch you next time on The True Show.
Detecting additional hostile contacts. Access key detected. Hostile broadcast picked up. Hostile broadcast detected. Heavily armored hostile detected.